Hey everyone, I'm Allison Morris. You're watching NBC News Now, and you have been watching closing arguments in the Depp-Heard defamation trial. The jury now leaving to go deliberate in Johnny Depp's defamation trial against his ex-wife Amber Heard. Here are some of the big moments from today's closing arguments.
What we have is a mountain of unproven allegations that are wild, over the top, and implausible. What Ms. Heard testified to in this courtroom is the story of far too many women. But the overwhelming evidence and weight of that evidence shows that it is not her story. It was an act of profound cruelty, not just to Mr. Depp, but to true survivors of domestic abuse.
You have now come to know the real Amber Heard. Scary. No woman ever before Amber Heard ever claimed that Mr. Depp raised a hand to her in his 58 years. This is Me Too without any Me Too. Mr. Depp is no saint, and he has never claimed to be one. He has made mistakes in his life, as we all have. Yes, he has struggled with drugs and alcohol, but you never heard him deny that. We told you that in the opening statement. He owns his flaws. He admits to them. He told you all about them. But he is not a violent abuser. He's not an abuser, as Ms. Heard claims. And he did not and does not deserve to have his life, his legacy, destroyed. There is a world of difference between having substance abuse problems and being a physical abuser. Amber Heard is not a true victim. And Mr. Depp certainly is not an abuser. This case for Mr. Depp has never been about money. It is about Mr. Depp's reputation.
And NBC News correspondent Steve Patterson is outside the courthouse in Fairfax, Virginia. We were just hearing some of the closing arguments. Steve, just to get people up to speed here, if they haven't been watching all day long, Johnny Depp suing Amber Heard for $50 million over a 2018 Washington Post op-ed where she referred to herself as a public figure representing domestic abuse. Depp denies ever being physically violent with Heard. She's countersuing for $100 million, claiming she was only violent with Depp in self-defense. Walk us through a little bit more about how each side presented their case today as they close this one out.
Yeah, 6 weeks later, and we've finally come to deliberations from the jury. Closing arguments started this morning, lasting really the better part of the afternoon, starting with Depp's attorney and then Heard's attorneys. And we really heard, instead of what is considered classical closing arguments, a summation of the statements meant to inform the jury, this was really a chronological encapsulation of the entire trial by both sides, using the same multimedia that we saw during the entire 6-week trial. So some of the same text messages, some of the same audio files of the fights between the two, some of the same video that we saw presented by Heard of Johnny Depp hitting those cabinets. All of that was brought back up, and then Heard's team chronologically going through each one of the text messages that they used to paint Johnny Depp the way they wanted to. The basic arguments, were again, those encapsulations of what we heard during most of the case. Depp's team saying that Heard is this vindictive, mentally unstable, essentially a liar that lied about being abused, that wrote that op-ed as a malicious, defamatory statement meant to destroy Johnny Depp. She did it by, again, taking people on a ride throughout their relationship, saying that these key points of abuse where she was injured, she wasn't actually injured. And they do that by bringing up what they would consider photo evidence of her at a banquet, her at a red carpet, her on a late night talk show where she's alleging that there were instances of abuse. Then showing those pictures or video clips and saying there's no blemish here, there's no mark here, there's no busted lip where you said there were all these injuries, and then even pointing to photos that she did submit and saying that these are doctored, these aren't real, there isn't really a mark there, casting that sort of doubt on her. In the closing statements, then arguing essentially that the issue of domestic abuse amounts to a person that is lying about domestic abuse, that actually hurts abusers who may be looking at this case. Heard, on the other hand, is really talking about the barriers that Depp has to meet in this case. And there are more numerous barriers that Depp has to meet than Heard does because he's the plaintiff and this is a defamation case. One of the real arguments is that of absolute truth. In other words, even if you don't believe that Johnny Depp is a chronic abuser, if there was even just one instance of abuse at any point, then essentially Amber Heard should be awarded this victory. And they're arguing kind of with the parameters of what constitutes abuse, right? So it's not just maybe physical abuse or sexual abuse. It could be emotional abuse. It could be financial abuse by way of the power dynamic in the relationship. So sort of establishing those parameters in their closing statements and then arguing to Amber Heard's First Amendment rights and writing that op-ed, which is, again, the core of the whole reason why we're having this trial in the first place, right? Did that op-ed defame Johnny Depp? Was there malice in that defamation that caused Johnny Depp irreparable harm and cost him movie roles and cost him his career? And their argument is that absolutely it did not, that he was having problems leading up to any of the problems that they saw during all of this, and that it's actually, you know, in the culture of abusers being able to speak out, especially on an issue as broad as this, that she has a First Amendment right to do that. She doesn't name Johnny Depp during the op-ed, so their argument is it has nothing to do with Johnny Depp. It's about a woman who is dealing with the fallout of a bad relationship, of abuse that was in that relationship, and the power dynamic that ripples out from that. That's both of their arguments basically surmised. But I mean, again, it was basically all morning and most of the afternoon that it took for them to arrive at that. Allison.
So, Steve, I have to ask you what it's been like outside the courthouse. It looks and seems really quiet now, but we have seen over the past weeks when Johnny Depp shows up to court, fans coming to cheer him on and show their support. Have you seen any of that today?
So that's because we're in the front of the courthouse.
Okay, they're on the other side.
My producer went around back. Yes. Okay. So my producer went around back. She's standing to my left right here. She showed me video of a couple of Johnny Depp fans. And I'm like, okay, there's a little crowd outside during the trial. That's kind of weird. Usually they gather in the morning because there's 100 spots to get in. So there's a real clamoring to try to get inside. And then there'll be a few gathered, as I was, with them when Johnny Depp rolls in so they can wave and cheer. It almost sounds like a red carpet event. They were so loud. So she shows me a little clip of what's happening during the trial. I'm like, okay, it's a few. And she's driving, and then it keeps going and going and going. What looked like for blocks, there are Johnny Depp fans outside of that courtroom behind the courthouse. We spoke to a few Amber Heard fans. I mean, I would say it's maybe 98% Johnny Depp supporters compared to a few Amber Heard supporters, but they are loud. They are here to support Depp, and they're very outspoken about what's happening.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.